Saki.
Don't even talk to me. Because of your rooming arrangements, I didn't sleep a wink all night. Instead, I watched Gundam.
Damn!
Welcome back to the show that's liver than pay-per-view. You're listening to Gundam at MAHQ. And this is Sobro. Oh, wow, this is all rhyming. This is Sobro Ryu.
And this is Neil Lorrnoke. And for whatever reason, he's possessed, being possessed by the spirit of B.I.G. and Tupac and all these guys.
Ghostface Killer. I'm not dead.
Ghostface Killer is not a ghost.
Oh, man. That was hilarious.
But,
sorry, Boondocks reference. Anyway, welcome back to the 5th episode of Gundam at MAHQ. And we're saddened by the loss of the bald wizard, but don't worry, he'll be back. He'll be back next show.
He's on vacation.
He's enjoying the sun and the ocean, and wherever he's at, he's having a blast, I'm sure. And we can't wait to see him when he gets back and hear from him. But in the meantime, we're bringing episode 5 to you.
Show still goes on.
Show still goes on, and tonight's segments we go into the mystery behind the Newtype. We also discuss some listener mail, and the first segment tonight will be our monthly wrap-up of episodes 5 through 8 of Mobile Suit Gundam 00.
And always catch the reviews on MAHQ done by Chris too, MAHQ.net.
Yeah, hit MAHQ.net, and also the Gundam website, which is on MySpace at www.myspace.com/Gundam the show. If you want to reach us by email, send all emails to GundamMAHQ@gmail.com, and
and also remember, too, you can download it. You can download the show on iTunes.
Right.
We keep forgetting to say that since episode 1.
Exactly.
But if anybody has an iPod like I do, and you are allowed to listen to it at your job, just go to the podcast section. We're listed under Gundam, and all the episodes will be up, including the You Guys Spoke and We Listened. Yes. There are now 2 versions of the show available.
I like to call the regular version of Gundam, and of course the unplugged version, which is light on the music throughout the segments. They'll open and close with music, but for the most part, you'll still get the commercial breaks. But for the most part, it's music light for those who don't really like the musical accompaniment, which I have no problem with. As long as I'm producing episodes, it's easy for me to do. I'll do it for you guys.
Yeah. So we listened. We heard you, we listened, and we took care of it.
That's right. It's not about ego, Jack. It's not about it. But there's a lot of exciting news going on today.
Yes, I do.
Hot off the presses, Neo's got it.
The pages are still a little hot coming out of the printer. But actually, a lot of good things that are coming. And once again, my news is always courtesy of Ganada.
Oh, yes. At aeug.blogspot.com. Check it out.
I know our last show we had talked about the SD Gundam collection box set.
Wow.
That was released in Japan, and it was ranked 17th on the weekly anime DVD charts. Its first week of sales. Don't have any actual unit numbers, but it's doing really well. Also, I know that we had spoken about it too, but the band Arc NCL that does the opening song for Mobile Suit 00, I guess their album is selling very well. I guess it helps to move units when you are on the Gundam shows in Japan.
Wow.
I guess the first week it was #1 in Japan.
Right.
They sold like over 220,000 copies. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, so they're doing really well.
It makes you wonder if they're going to actually switch. You know, like a lot of anime shows will switch up the song at like episode 13 or 14. It makes you wonder if they're going to do that. They did that with Seed and Destiny too. Every
this guy,
quarter of the show.
This director did Alchemist, right? And Alchemist
and Alchemist did it too.
Yeah,
so,
I do remember that.
And Lark NCL was the second band on the Alchemist. Did the Alchemist opening. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it makes me wonder if you're going to use them more than once or use the same bands. I'd like to see them use Porno Graffiti. I love that band, and if they did the first opening for Alchemist was really awesome.
Yeah.
So if he gets them to do a theme for 00, I'm right there.
Yeah, we'll see. But
keep my fingers crossed.
Speaking of 00, just going to go through some of the ratings
for
the episodes that we're going to be talking about tonight.
Heck yeah.
5, 6, 7, and 8. Episode 5 had a 4.4, so a drop from episode 4. Episode 6 was a flat 5.0 percent rating.
Right.
Its week of viewing. Episode 7 was a 4.9.
Ooh.
And episode 8 was at a 5. So they're pretty much hanging between that 4.5 to 5% range, which is pretty good considering when the show comes on.
As long as it doesn't take a considerate dip, that's all I'm asking. I hope it continues to climb, or at least stay at a regular level, so that
which amazes me because episode 5 is probably the best episode of the 4, and it had the lowest rating.
Wow.
So, but we'll discuss that later on the topics.
That's always the initial release of the episode, though, and there's got to be a lot of people TiVoing the show.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
yeah, it's just like here. So
I think TiVo has changed the face of how people watch television, but that's a whole nother discussion right there.
But I know last episode 2 we talked that Shark's Counterattack and F91 are going to be released on Blu-ray. I encourage people to go to Granada's site, and you can't see it here because we're doing this. This is recorded. And there's no visual on it, but definitely check out the covers for the 2 Blu-ray for Shark's Counterattack and F91. They look really cool.
They do look good. I can't wait to see what the transfer looks like.
Yeah, so I mean they look really nice. But I actually like the F91 cover a lot better, even though it's not as good as the show. The movie's not as good as Shark's Counterattack. But it's when it comes to the covers, it's a lot better. But and more into art, Gundam art, I guess. Kunio Okawara, one of the one of the animators on.
He's the mech designer of Mobile Suit Gundam, and he pretty much drew up the initial design of the Gundam. So he always gets a credit for every Gundam series.
For all you Gundam fans out there, if you really want something that's really cool and unique, on the Yahoo auctions in Japan, they're going to be auctioning off 3 posters from the Mobile Suit Gundam movie trilogy.
Wow!
And they're actually going to be signed by Mr. Okawara. And these are not reproductions. According to what I'm reading here, these are 30-year-old movie posters when these movies came out, and they're going to be offered separately. Actually, here shortly, December 4th through the 11th is the first poster for the first film. December 11th through the 18th is for film 2, and 18 through 25 for the film 3.
That's wild, man. I mean, if you think about it, Gundam actually turns 30 next year on April. Is 2008. So I'm sorry.
79.
79. So yeah.
So we got 2 more years.
2 more years. Exactly. So yeah, April the 12th, 1979. So yeah, 2009 is gonna be a big year.
But for all those people with some extra cash, or you really want to get something unique for the Gundam fam, and for this holiday, you might want to go on the Yahoo auctions in Japan. That's the Japan site. And lastly,
so get your yen up.
Get your yen up. And got some game news. I know some people out there have played the Garion's Greed games for the PS1.
Dude, the day they translate one of those games, I'll jump through the roof.
Well, they're going to be bringing them out on the PSP. Garion's Greed, The Menace of Axis, will be coming out on February 7th of next year. It's going to include the Double Zeta and Shark's Counterattack periods, and you can start off as either a Federation, Xeon, AUG, Titan, or Axis forces.
Wow!
And there's also reported the appearance of the mobile suits from MS Igloo and Harmony of Gundam are in there.
What the?
And there is said to be about 400 mobile suits and mobile armors in the game.
Are they? You think they might put the story arc from a new translation in it, like as an alternative?
Doesn't say that here. I don't know.
Wow.
But that's kind of a what if game anyway, so I'm sure they will. Let's hope not. But sorry. Estimated gameplay is about 20 to 30 hours, which for a handheld is great.
Oh man, especially for a strategy game. I mean, that's pretty much about the right amount of time right there.
And when event scenes don't have any animation, there's going to be about 400 still scenes created by Sunrise just for the game.
Oh my gosh!
So
I love having an art book just of those still scenes.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I'm sure which will come out in Japan, which I'll have to hunt down.
And on Phantasmu.com, there's a video interview with Norihiko Usamura, the game producer for the Garyon Greed series.
Wow.
So I haven't checked it out yet. But I'm sure there's going to be a subtitled version either on YouTube or online, so that'll be interesting for everybody to take a look at. It's also going to have some screenshots for the game on there. And my last two little things are kind of things set in the real world here. The first is on BS11 Digital. I guess it's one of the cable channels in Japan. Actually, Saturday, they were airing a show called Kensho, The World of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Oh my God.
Road to the Universal Century. It's a 2-hour special examining how much closer society is to the Universal Century. The broadcast is going to look at the space program of today, robotic technology, high-tech weaponry, in contrast with the science and technology of the UC.
Oh man, we are so robbed here in the States.
The hosts are Gundam UC author Harutoshi Fukai,
right,
and TV personality Idol Kaoru Makabe, and for everybody, all of our fans are going to be our favorite Gundam fan is going to be making a special guest appearance in there.
Who?
Gak.
Oh no!
So.
Oh no! The prettiest man alive.
But I guess it's probably going to be like those Star Wars and Star Trek tech things I saw on the History Channel, where they basically just kind of show how these shows influence technology today, and see if we're any closer to what they actually theorized in it. So hopefully that will be translated too, because I want to take a look at that. Maybe we'll talk about that.
Any fan subgroups listening, I beg of you to please translate that. If you can find the rip, please. You know what? I'll shut up now.
And the last thing that we'll discuss is this is more for me than anybody, but for anybody else, it's a car fan. I'm a big car fan,
right?
But everybody knows here in America that the GTR, the Nissan Skyline, is coming to the U.S. next year.
Ooh!
And they talked to Shiro Nakamura. He's the chief creative officer at Nissan, and he's talking about how they redesigned what the Skyline looks like now.
Right.
Next year's model is going to look different than what it does now. Basically, this year's model looks like the Infiniti G35 sedan.
Right.
That's what it is over there, or that's what it is here. But he was talking about how they redesigned the car, and they wanted it to reflect Japanese culture. And the article notes, because this was an article that they did in Business Week, he said, in this quote, "The inspiration for the model's square lines and high-tech vents came from Gundam, the Japanese anime featuring giant robots." Now, if you go to Nissan USA site or Motor Trend, they show it. I took a look at the pictures. The car is beautiful because it is a Skyline, but it's also I can see what they're talking about. But the front vent grills and a lot of the lines are very Mobile Suit,
very
Gundam-like.
angular and. Oh my God! You serious?
Yeah. And unfortunately, though,
because I've known Neo for quite some time, and he's always wanted this car.
Yeah.
And it just turns out the year that it comes out here, that they're actually going. The version that's released is actually very inspired by Gundam of all things.
Yeah.
It's
I gotta save my money though.
Yeah,
I just bought a car this year, but I'm gonna have to save a lot more money.
Wow.
This car, the Skyline's gonna be $69,850, which to me is still kind of inexpensive comparing to what they were bringing the imports over that you can buy in California.
If you want to buy the older models and you had to get them converted, it was
way expensive. But I thought that was kind of cool, and it just shows you how, just like over here in the States, that Star Wars seems to influence a lot of things. Gundam is very much in the culture of Japan.
It's amazing how Gundam is actually popping up more and more in the headlines now, and that'll be a subject for a later time. But I'm starting to notice that more and more.
But that's the news. So,
all right. Well, keep listening. We'll be back with the first segment, which is finally getting our hands dirty with the next episodes of Gundam 00, and you're listening to Gundam.
Damn, you guys are gullible.
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I have diabetes. It hurts me to pee, and it causes me to be short with my family. I can't sleep at night. The other day, I stubbed my toe and took it out on the dog. And 2 weeks ago, I ran out of vanilla ice cream and struck my wife.
Next time on Flip the Script,
we don't need to end up like that radio show with the water contest that killed a woman for a wee.
Yeah.
Brutal.
That was
man.
hilarious.
But we will
hilarious.
Yes, it was.
Say that to the kids. The fucking 2 kids.
Why'd you have to bring the kids into it, man?
Because
Love the kids.
I'm gonna win you guys a Wii.
Why didn't she just save her money so that she could buy it legit?
Why didn't she just
She still can't even buy one to this day.
To me, it's like save your fucking money and then you'll buy
Oh,
it.
hold on.
Just wanted
Hold on.
to interject.
Lieutenant Doctor.
When people find out things are free, they lose their fucking mind.
Yeah,
And
the psychology behind free
that's
shit
what
and
happened.
people is like crazy.
When something
Actually,
Yeah, all I know is the kids when they grow up. What happened to your mother? She died. Why? She was
Drinking
trying to
too
win
much.
us a
No,
Wii.
it wasn't. No, that's not the bad part.
With metal
It's the
slug.
fact that she drank too much water. Try explaining that.
That's not the bad part.
Yes, it is.
She drank a lot of water. She got water poisoning. I mean, I guess that can happen, but
It did.
to win a Wii, a fucking toy.
Which by that point
An
will probably be
outdated system.
easily attainable at any kind of secondhand
Yeah.
store.
Like I said.
But
Every time those
It's
kids see a
like-
fucking Wii,
they're
they're
gonna
gonna have
This shit
mental
happened-
issues.
This shit happened after Christmas, so it's like not even like during the rush during Christmas.
No, you-
so I'm like, what?
You know what'd be great though? The contest we need is this is the flip the script contest. You need to videotape how many cigarettes you can smoke
Oh god.
in a 24-hour period.
Okay, you're not in
Alright,
charge
you know,
of any
that's-
contest.
Please no.
We're done
not
with these
doing
contests
that.
for now.
You're going to get
And-
somebody killed.
And
for
then,
free.
and
Well, I know, real
and
quick.
you win, and the grand prize.
Oh god.
You win death.
Is Soul Bros half used ultra degree deodorant, Cool Rush flavor,
And degree is the let me tell you.
flavor.
I should slap you with that thing.
and an empty Sunkist bottle.
But you know what? Real
Nice.
quick. You know what? Real quick.
What's
Every
up?
time I look at my Wii, I'll be like, I still have my mom.
Still have your wife.
You know what? That is
sorry,
the
what
single most hateful thing we've heard on the show yet. You know what? I gotta shake your hand on that one because that was pure hate.
I'm missing the laughter, guys.
It will never,
Oh.
never get more hateful
That was-
than what we just heard.
Next time on Flip the Script.
And then I find out my wife's been dead for 6 years. Who the hell did I hit?
This message brought to you by
Flip the script.
Just gotta keep on trucking, yes sir! I'm gonna go outside and make myself a nice big shiny first place medal, sit in the sun, and have a stupendous friggin' day!
Gun-
Damn it!
Well, alright, you're messy. Would you make me a medal too?
Welcome back. This is episode 5 of Gundam at MAHQ. I'm one of your hosts, Neil Lorrnoke.
And I'm here too as Sobro Ryu, buddy.
And we're going to be minus host this week. I know episode 4, Chris from MAHQ had joined us, but he's on vacation. We wish him good time.
Yep.
And we can't wait for him to get back.
Come on back, Ball Wizard. We miss you.
But with that, we're gonna go over episode 5, 6, 7, and 8 of Gundam Mobile Suit Gundam 00. And of course, if always check out Chris's reviews on mahq.net.
Right now, he's up to episode 7. Once he
7.
gets back, he would definitely get caught up with 8 and 9
Yes.
and 10.
And all the ones after.
Oh, yes.
But so we're just going to go over that, and we just want to let anybody know that we'll have probably limited spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen any episodes, just fast forward this part. But I'll go into it real quick. Episode 5 was kind of a standalone episode.
Very much so.
Got more character driven. Got to see a lot of the characters in action. Kind of see what they're like.
Right.
Basically, it's coming off the thing of Tiberia returning to the Union.
Yep. After they tried to play Celestial Being, and they weren't trying to have that.
Yeah. We get more FaceTime with Marina from Ajistan, the little, I guess she's a princess or a queen.
Yep.
It seems like she's been called both. She's going on a goodwill tour around Europe to get some support for the old country.
To me, she seems a little bit like Princess Diana. She's not quite in control, but she's kind of a what's it called?
Figurehead.
A figurehead, exactly. And she's got an assistant named what's her name? Shirin. And she's a little bitter, and you can see that she has a lot of bite to her. And it's mainly because women in that country have no say.
Right.
And, she's probably quick as a whip, and she could probably do a better job than most of the people in Parliament in their nation, but she'll never get the chance, and so she's probably pretty bitter about it, and so she tries to do what she can through Marina by giving her advice. But it makes me wonder what her true agenda is.
Well, and basically this is one of the kind of like a normal Gundam episode where you got about 5 things going on at once. With that, we have Saji and Luis go to one of the orbital elevators.
My man Saji, man. Got the private cabin.
Hallelujah is in the orbital elevator with them at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
In the meantime, though, Celestial Being has to observe a mobile suit test from the HRL, which will be outside said orbital elevator.
That's right.
So we have Sergei and Soma's testing on a new suit. We get our first new type reaction, or quasi new type reaction between Hallelujah and Soma. She basically freaks out, fires at the station, the part in the station where Saji and Luis are.
Exactly. My man Hallelujah got a little gangster in that episode.
Yes, he did.
Oh, man.
But he...
for a brief moment, a little Jekyll and Hyde moment.
Oh, yes, very much so. Talking to himself.
Yep. We got a little insight as to his background a little bit. We discovered that he was drifting in space as a young man. I don't know what happened during that time, but it traumatized him, and he didn't want to see the same thing happen to the people who became victimized by Soma's outbreak. Yeah,
and it definitely get the take that he is probably from the same super soldier program that she came from.
Exactly.
He breaks orders, helps out, helps save the gravity block that's been detached and is falling to Earth, helps sold Sergei, and we get to see Sergei with the ethical dilemma of, what am I doing is right in the HRL, or is Celestial Being right, or
exactly
what the hell, you know? But
I like him a lot because he's the old warhorse, and there's a scene in the episode where he tries to save the people on board. With he's risking his own life because he knows it's a hopeless situation. It's pretty much his Jack Bauer moment.
Yeah,
he's trying to help out the best he can, but he's under a time crunch, and there's nothing more he can do.
And it's also nice to see that everybody in Celestial Being is not faceless and cold and heartless.
Exactly.
Because we get to see that Sumeragi green lights the save, the saving of the gravity block by allowing Lock-On and Setsuna to help, which is actually surprising to me that Setsuna helped.
Yeah. But he was told to, so I'm guessing that's the reason why he did it. But if he wasn't told to, he wouldn't have taken action at all.
Which was kind of interesting. You got to see a lot of characters in this one, but very few. I think it was just one scene with Lock-On and Setsuna.
Yeah, they made a cameo, and that was it.
Yeah, they made a cameo along with Haro.
Haro did his thing.
But it was I think it's probably one of the best episodes so far in the show.
So far, it's my favorite one.
I know when I saw it, I actually called Soul Bro after I got done watching the subtitled version. I was like, "Wow, this is." I basically said it was one of the best episodes of any type of show or whatever that I've ever seen.
It's a white knuckle ride the entire time.
Yeah, you just didn't know where it was going to go, and it was nice because it really had nothing to do with the overall story.
Overall plot. You got to find out a lot more about the smaller characters. They developed Saji some. There was a foreshadowing moment where you came across Wang, and they crossed paths, and then he easily got yoked out of it by Louise. But I think that I don't think that'll be the first time they run into each other or the last. So
and the whole spoon feeding of the explanations of the technology and the world it continues.
I was gripped by that, until Louise pulled him out the cabin. It was like, darn it!
But it made sense, and it was nice because we didn't have a whole 5-minute soliloquy from the explanation lady on, what happened. But
right. Damn it, Louise! Damn your Pringles!
Which brings us to episode 6, but we're actually going to kind of talk about episodes 6 and 7 together because they were basically
two-part episode.
It's a 2-part arc, more or less. It starts off, and we're introduced to a new character, Ali Al-Sergis.
Well, we're kind of introduced to in the first episode, but we never got to see him.
Right.
If you remember the voice over the loudspeaker during the time where you saw Setsuna trying to dodge the Metal Gears trying to kill him. Yeah. As a youngster, that was Ali Al-Sergis' voice over the intercom. And if you're keeping score, write that down in your scorecard.
Yep. And we find out that he's basically a mercenary for hire. Works for Another new player
Yeah.
in the world, company called PMC Trust.
Exactly.
I guess the easiest way of equating them is, I'm sure everybody hears in the news about Blackwater International in Iraq.
Exactly.
It's basically the 00 version of Blackwater, it seems.
A PMC.
Once again, Marina's goodwill tour continues in this one. She's going to each AEU country to get some support.
Exactly.
We see that there's actually problems within the AEU. Not everything's equal between the countries.
Not at all.
Some of the countries have a little bit more power, and we also find out that there is a space race in 00,
which makes a lot of sense because the first person to conquer space, they pretty
control
much
it.
conquer Earth.
Yeah,
they control the airspace. What else can you do?
So we see that. We also see a little bit of that the GN reactors of the Gundams actually they recharge as the support vehicles.
That's right.
Remember, who was it? It was Hallelujah or Tiara. I think it was Hallelujah.
I think it was Hallelujah.
Yeah,
it was when he was speaking with Lorrnoke.
Yeah. The Prometheus.
That's right.
So
that's why they always have to rotate and go back into space all the time.
Yeah. Which is showing how powerful these engines are
and how crucial the Gundams are. If they lose one, they're really in deep.
Yeah, they really are. Basically, the AU plays a trump card. They start sending some. They want to do a joint exercise to send a lot of their mobile suit troops to a country called Morelia.
Right.
Morelia is basically controlled by PMC Trust.
That's right.
And, of course, the Gundams have to go, and they're going to react to that. Celestial Being's going to react to it. Interesting thing, we see that Graham and Billy come back to Earth, and that we actually see that Billy and Sumeragi have a little bit of history together.
They have a connection. Don't know if it's a love connection or just a cool connection. But
I think
they were
lovers.
You think they were involved at one time?
I think so.
And I guess they were both students of the professor or the one scientist that is part
in charge of the
Billy
anti-Gundam team. Yeah,
exactly.
And they were basically trying to get information from each other.
Yeah, they're kind of feeling each other out.
Yeah,
without coming out and saying who they're affiliated with at that same time, but. They both know they're up to no good.
And the professor actually asks about Sumeragi when Billy gets back to the laboratory there. So,
and that's not her real name either, I guess.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he calls her by some type of name. I think it was a pet name, or that's the only thing I could think of. Is maybe it's a pet name, or that is her real name.
It could be. I mean,
because
the thing
we find out later about the names and
of the
Gundam Meisters.
Of the Gundam Meisters, and that
we'll
they're
hit
all
that shortly.
They're all fake, apparently. But that brings up the fact that I love the fact that the show doesn't give you the whole rundown or the whole explanation of each character. Mm-hmm. You get bits and pieces as you watch the show, and I think that's a perfect tactic on giving on enticing the viewer to keep watching because you want to find out more about these characters and what makes them them. Some characters I straight up hate right now, but I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But as you learn more and more about them, they become more human. And you get to learn, exactly where they're coming from, why they are. Tieria is one of them. I want to know his backstory, and he's the one we know the least about right now.
Right.
And, I may end up liking the guy by series end, but I have no way of knowing that right now.
And that brings a good segue of we find out in 6 and 7 about Tiara, how much of a hardliner he is within Celestial Being.
Something's making him that way.
He seems to be the only one that is just fully into Celestial Being.
Yep, and what they're out to do.
Because of what he did in Episode 5, Hallelujah's in confinement.
Yeah.
Of course, they take him out when they need it. When they need to send the Gundams to Morelia, and
he's pretty much on probation at that point.
Yeah. So then we get the old Gundam upgrades.
Yeah.
In these episodes, the Exia gets the GM blades, and Dynamis gets basically Death Sice, Endless Waltz, cloak, shield cloak.
So, we're bringing it back.
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
The new duo Maxwell.
Great, great animated battle scenes. Definitely, PMC Trust is not in the same league of the Gundams.
Not at all.
Their pilots or their equipment, but
they did give Ali one hell of a mobile suit.
Yeah, they do give Ali a mobile suit because he's called back to Morelia.
And I mean, even if it is inferior to the Gundam, He's one hell of a pilot, apparently, because that man held up his own. I mean, he pretty much fought Setsuna without a scratch.
Yeah, so episode 6 basically ended with the confrontation between the Exia and Ali.
Mm-hmm.
We go into episode 7, they're duking it out, and basically, because Ali's a real confident, cocky guy, he's got to yell out everything over his loudspeaker, so Setsuna goes through a little freak-out phase and recognizes, hey, voice. I know you. And
it starts the wheels spinning in Ali's mind after they confront each other outside the cockpit as to who he could be. Now, I think he's pretty much narrowed it down to the fact that he's got to be one of his old constituents from back in the day.
He does remark about that because of the way that Setsuna had, some of the ways that he reacted to their fight.
Yeah,
and their fight was good. Ali, like you said, is a very good pilot.
He's a very good pilot, and he seems to be very charismatic.
Setsuna, it definitely sees that we, as good as we finally get the first take that he's winning a lot of these battles because of the Exia.
Exactly.
Not necessarily because of his piloting skills.
There's two questions that I know will get answered in the series by series end. One of them is, what caused Ali to change from a God-fearing, just jihadist?
Actually, though, that's interesting because in episode 7 we find out that I think he just used it.
You think it was a scam artist?
It was a way to recruit kids because I remember in episode 7 after his battle with Setsuna and PMC Trust troops are decimated, but only him and a few of his squad members, because a few guys that are in his squad, survive.
Yeah.
They meet up with some of the other leaders of PMC Trust, and he talks about God, and he says something about money being his God.
Yeah.
So it's basically,
he played those poor kids?
Yeah.
Because for those who didn't see the episode, what he did is he convinced these children.
Yeah, it's a flashback, and then we find out a little bit about Setsuna.
And Setsuna was one of them back when he was like, I don't know, maybe around 10 years old.
Yeah.
Exactly. He actually shot his mother to death, along with all these other kids who also pretty much gave their allegiances to Ali. One of the first tests of their allegiance was to kill their families.
Well, it seemed like the only way he would accept them.
The only way to accept them. It showed how freaking devoted they were. And they had to do that. And that traumatized Setsuna at one point. But, I mean, it also makes me not feel too much sympathy for him because, as a young man, he did something that extreme.
Yes.
Which goes to show his state of mind at that time. And the fact that he's pretty broken now, but at the same time, he kind of reaps what he sowed at the same time. So
it's kind of interesting, too.
And now he's godless. He's a complete atheist now.
First real take on a different take on a Gundam pilot and how his parents affected him.
Yeah.
This one,
never seen a Gundam pilot actually purposely kill his parents.
No. We've had them where they made mistakes.
Yeah.
Or something happened. And, just in the course of actions of what they did, somebody got killed.
Exactly.
But, very interesting episode. And then which brings us to episode 8.
Oh, man.
Real interesting one because towards the end of episode 7, because of what the Gundam Meisters did, there was a series of terrorist attacks.
And that's what made that episode hit close to home.
Yes.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's a fear of it that's in everybody's mind today. Would this happen to us? It's already happened around the globe in numerous places. Yep. And, someone could easily do that now.
And poor Saji and Luis, because they are they have the worst luck of any people. They remind me of the little girl in Go Gaigar.
Oh wow!
The little redheaded girl. It's like every time that the aliens showed up, she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But so they actually witnessed one of the attacks in Japan. We find out early in episode 8 that this is a response to what the celestial being did. So then we get basically celestial beings out for trying to find the terrorists. They actually locate the bases and attack them.
I do think that was a red herring, though. I honestly believe so.
I think so, too.
It's a convenient excuse, and I think someone played them into believing that was the people behind it. If it really is Ali, because Ali foreshadowed that something big was going to happen around the world, and if it's really his people that were doing it, then I don't think he would. I think he's too slick to let his own people get killed. And they may have the powers that be around may have played celestial being into thinking that these were the people that were behind it.
So we have that. We find out in that episode 2 that Lock-On was a victim of terrorism
Oh, yeah.
as a child or in his younger days. We have the Relina Peacecraft Hero Yui
Man.
confrontation between Setsuna and Marina.
Which wasn't as subtle as I'd have liked it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed kind of forced, but I'll accept it for now. I think it was an overkill that he actually swooped by her plane at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But they had to meet sometime, and I guess it's better now than later. But
we find out that his real name isn't Setsuna, so those
not at all.
horrible names like Lock-On Stratus and all that, they're all code names.
all
Thank
BS.
God.
I mean, granted, it makes sense now because Lock-On is a sniper.
Right.
So, that makes perfect sense. And Hallelujah, I don't know what his name relates to, but it may be something religious.
Angel, because he flies the Zeta.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of.
And Tierra, I'm not sure what that could allude to, and Setsuna is code name for something. But
the other thing that I thought was interesting is we see the only other time I saw this in a Gundam show was in 08th MS Team. We see that the Gundam, they're so advanced that they're voice activated and that they can walk without the pilot in it. Because remember when Setsuna comes and he's going to go into the Gundam, he basically does, they have voice, which is another thing. These Gundams, all the other Gundams, they never had any type of anti-theft deterrent system. These have it. They're all voice activated.
These have OnStar and LoJack.
They have LoJack. They have the radios that don't work.
Another thing that tripped me out is that we finally get to see what keeps them in place in the seat.
That too.
There's a back lock behind the normal suits that they wear that locks them into place, and I guess it acts as an activation key. Also, I'm not sure they can pilot them without it, but
they have a retina scan too on.
Yeah, they do. Man.
So, but the pretty good episodes. Any kind of thoughts over what we saw?
Well,
or anything changed in your what's your thought or the direction that they're going to go quickly?
Well, I not to go too much into it. I love where the series is going now. I like the direction. I like the way we're getting bits and pieces of everybody's lives as opposed to getting the whole information dump onto us. And I like, my main thing that I'm keeping a close eye on is Saji Crossroad. I keep harping this, but every episode they develop that man. He always has commentary on what's going on, and I can see how the events are shaping him slowly but surely. And the subtle hints of things that are happening in his own personal life that are going to play a role later on in the series. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I mean, they may pull a fast one on us, but I believe he's going to play a key role later on.
I like the way it's still going. I agree with you with the Setsuna meeting with Marina.
Right.
Didn't like it. It seemed a little too early too. The other thing, the other thing that kind of reminded me was the old Ali Setsuna meeting. It harked of Full Metal Panic.
Yeah, there was a lot of FMP influence right there.
For as much innovation that they've done for a Gundam show, some of these things are some glaring things that kind of.
Yeah, you got to go back to the well sometimes, I guess. But
I like, but I do enjoy the way that the way they're explaining the world. There definitely seems like, I'll be honest with you, my prediction as of right now, and I'm sure it'll change as we see more episodes. Celestial Being isn't the all-knowing or all-good savior of the world.
No,
like
it isn't.
Being portrayed.
I honestly think the 4 pilots are going to end up going their own ways.
Yeah, because I think
there's going to be a breakup of the highest proportion. Something's going to change the face of the of what's going on.
I almost think that they have a hand in the world stuff, and they're just, I don't know. What they're preaching isn't what they're doing. Not what the higher ups are doing.
Yeah, the stage is going to change, and something's going to cause a rift in that organization. I guarantee that too. I believe.
Yeah. So, but that was our thoughts, takes, and a quick synopsis of those 4 episodes, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Of course, always go on MAHQ.net to see Chris's reviews. I think he's up to 7 now.
Yep.
I'm sure when he gets back, he'll get up to date with 8 and 9.
He's got plenty of work to do.
I'm sure he does. But that's our thoughts, and we'll be back in a little bit. You're listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
Fix this Gundam door!
All right, Darby. Get your cards. We'll settle this once and for all with poker. Kindly cut the deck.
Jotaro.
I need to hear y'all say those little words. All right. I will bet my soul.
Good. Let's begin. What's wrong, sir? Hurry up and look at your cards.
I'm keeping them. I'm going to bet with these 5 cards.
He came with the name Cincinnati.
How can you play the game without looking at your cards?
With no A's in the hole.
Hey, Abdul, I need a favor.
On a hot
A favor?
poker pot.
I'll go along with that.
Cincinnati.
But why aren't you looking at your cards?
His heart and soul.
I'm gonna raise you all of Abdul's soul.
What?
Night and day like a demon.
If Jotaro wants me to bet,
And pray for that one lucky day.
I will trust him.
When the lush
Hey!
royal flush
I asked you for a card.
is dreaming.
Okay.
It's just a game away.
I'm raising you 15 chips in all. What?
Beyond all the green felt shadow.
Jotaro has no more chips left.
His own queen of hearts will wait.
I'll raise you all of Gakyoin's soul.
Till he's king
Jotaro!
of the green
All right, showdown.
shadow.
Hold on, I'm not finished.
She'll wait and wait and
There's
wait.
no matter of a raise I'd like to make.
Sure.
What the?
And the cards will be falling.
Vagina chips!
And chips in the pot pyramid.
I'm gonna raise you my mother's soul.
For a book,
Not this holy!
Lady Luck
If you lose,
will be calling.
you have to reveal the secret of Dio's stand.
The Cincinnati
Come on! Are you gonna call or fold?
I mean the Cincinnati
Say it out loud! Right now! Darby!
Cincinnati kid. The Cincinnati kid. I'm talking about that the Cincinnati kid.
He must have passed out from too much tension. He conceded the game. In his mind, he'd folded the cards. So all the souls he captured are now released, since he has admitted his defeat.
4 of a kind. In his hand, he had 4 kings. Jotaro, those face-down cards of yours, what were they?
Oh, I thought so! Nothing but garbage!
Kid, you just said I thought so. Does that mean you knew what my cards were?
Of all the nerve, assault me and then ask for a meal, you're getting squat. That's how you treat a guy who wins the whole Dark Tournament? Thanks for saving my life and all, pal, but my sandwich is just too damn good.
Welcome back to Gundam at MAHQ. Our next segment is about something that's been explored mainly in UC, or Universal Century Gundam. But it's been touched upon in some alternate series as well. And it's something that is very mysterious and really never has been fully defined, and I don't think ever should be. Otherwise it loses mysterious factor. But tonight we're going to talk about Newtypes. And just the mythos behind them. And our thoughts on
and
them.
theories, I guess you'd want to say. And then somebody, this is kind of a topic that somebody had
on the boards.
I brought up. So I guess I'll start it. I guess
go for it.
The Newtypes. I mean, basically they were covered in what UC, Gundam Seed, and Gundam X. Correct.
X. And touched upon very very lightly in Turn A Gundam.
That's right. Right.
And I don't know if it's been fully clarified yet, but we may have seen a little bit of Newtype influence in 00 with with the interaction between Alleluia and Soma Pyrrhus.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. The explanation I think is probably the best to me and the most interesting is the Gundam X theory, where it was just basically they became mutants.
You think
it was
so?
It was a mutant. Yeah, because it's the only way to really explain it, and it would bring about the whole thing of, you always hear like when they're talking about NASA and stuff that they're always trying to figure out what the effects being in space
will have on the human
it
body.
will have on the human body.
That's
and
true.
it always seems like most of the Newtypes are space-born or spend a lot of time in space.
Some people find their new type powers, even though they lived on Earth the entire time. They get into space and find out that space has always been calling to them in the first place. I like the fact that new types have an extra, ESP. They have that extra sensory perception when it comes to just the world around them that they don't need their eyes to see. Because the whole explanation, what in the novel for Mobile Suit Gundam, explains that when you're in space, things can come at you at any angle, from any direction. There's no up in space. There's no real compass in space.
And depth perception was really difficult.
Yeah,
I remember them talking about that
exactly.
too.
I mean, looking in the blackness of space, there's no lighting. So, looking at your enemy way ahead, it could be right in front of you, and you may not be able to see them.
Yeah.
Because, you're not getting enough sunlight coming your way, or you may not be in an atmosphere like on the moon or something, which, radiates, the light from, the sun or stars
From the
around
ground
you.
or
Exactly. So, that brought up a lot of things that, we wouldn't, would ever think of.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the reason why I like the mutant theory is because it seems the most plausible. Unfortunately, I mean, to me, even though I like the explanations and you see, it kind of seems almost supernatural more than anything, especially in the shows. The book, delved in a lot different take.
It did. It gave you a clearer vision of what made a new type and what the powers consisted of, but really didn't define them either. I don't think they should be defined though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, and I like the way that with every show you get kind of a different take. On a new type because, because in the Tomino Gundam you see shows, it's a lot different take. It's more of a supernatural, more of a spiritual thing.
Right.
Where like in F91, it was a little different. It didn't even seem very supernatural. It seemed almost kind of freakish.
And by the time V rolled around, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh man, like new types were cannon fodder.
and it also, the thing with Newtypes is I think it was one of these concepts that and it shows how the progression of these shows. I think originally his intention was this was just kind of a explanation of why Armoro was such a good pilot.
Right.
But it's kind of weird as we go further in the shows that we get to see these. It's almost kind of a force thing that new types become the focal point, and then you see, like, and you said in Victory, they're really non-existent. I mean, there's a few of them there, but they're almost kind of non-existent. And in F91, they're non-existent
Well,
too.
Victory had them in drove, but they weren't really the crucial characters.
Yeah.
Save for Uso, of course, and Shakti, and Shakti's mother. And then but some of the minor players,
new type baby,
the new type baby. That's right. Marbit's baby. Marbit and Arthur's Oliver. Thank you.
Watch out for the tires. Which will be covered in one of the funniest deaths.
Oh man, coming soon. Coming soon. Oh man. But no, it's in Victory. That was the most tragic end game for new types.
Yeah,
I think that's when it really hit its cusp, and Tomino said, this is ultimately what man would do, in order to manipulate them into using them for their own good or their own gain, and I guess at that point maybe the forces that be decided that new types shouldn't be as prolific as they are, but I always thought that the ideal future would be that mankind would all become new types.
Right.
In the end, those that went into space and moved on would
become
them.
That was the thing in Char's counterattack that he was trying to achieve, and
right.
And you kind of see that there's almost that move towards it, but then, like you said, I think people just got scared of them, and the people that were in power that weren't new types, they wanted to get rid of them because they saw how powerful and polarizing these people are.
That's true.
And
if you flash forward all the way to Turn A Gundam, there's practically none in existence at all.
The only one is what's his Corin?
Yeah, Corin Nonder.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Yeah, and I mean he eventually ends up in space with that one other woman, right? And
yeah, that's right.
And she was about as crazy as he was, but he was still like the only new type in the show. The only character that actually knew that out of two characters, he was the first one to ever utter the fact that Suit was a Gundam.
Yeah.
He pulled that name completely out of nowhere from a Newtype flash.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that Newtypes will always be connected to Gundam in some way, shape, or form. Even in one speculated Newtype in a show that really didn't focus on any was in Gundam Wing. A lot of people speculate that Quatra Reverber Winner, Catcher Reverber Winner was a Newtype, but that's never been confirmed nor denied. So.
I don't know where people would get that from because I didn't really see it.
Kind of his sensitivity to space, and he seemed to be a lot more in tune with the things around him.
Yeah,
and a lot more serene. But I mean, it's a speculation.
But he wasn't even the best pilot though. That was what was crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Out of the 5 guys, he wasn't even really the best one.
Not every Newtype's the greatest pilot in the world. I mean. There's some Newtypes
They're not
that
bad though. Most of them are pretty good.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I mean that's how they're shown, but yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's definitely something you can tell that Tomino brought it. It was influenced by the Force. You can definitely see that from
you can see that from Star Wars. As much as I'm not too big about Star Wars, and don't hate me, guys, but I can't deny that the mysticism behind Newtypes.
Is the same thing with the Jedis.
It's the same thing with the Jedis. The Jedis is a bit more what's the word, mythological than Newtypes. Newtypes seems to be like a force of nature as opposed to Jedi where, you can master these abilities.
They're more supernatural, it seemed like. But and then the most interesting one was probably
Gundam X?
Gundam C because
Gundam C? Oh, yeah.
Because you didn't I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they just kind of threw in Newtype just to have a Newtype, or because there's only what 3 people that are Newtypes that were 4.
In the original Gundam Seed, there was Aldeflaga,
right?
There was Mulaflaga, and there was Aldeflaga's clone, which was Rala Crusade, and then of course Kira Yamato,
and then Prayer
Rever,
in the manga. But out of what is that? That's what 5 out of those 5 people, 4 have a known connection with each other.
That's true.
Is it related?
Wasn't there one other guy, an older pilot who piloted?
Oh, Morgan. Yeah, he was in one of the games, and he was in the manga too.
He was in the manga also. Yeah,
and he looked kind of like he was from the Laflaga family.
Wow.
He kind of looked that same type of European look.
Right.
Lighter hair.
What's his last name? Chevalier.
Yeah. So I mean, he was definitely French. So
wow, it makes you wonder if they are connected.
That was the most interesting one because I didn't, it was kind of they kind of spoon-fed that. Well, in the original show they did. I know when they redid the movies and stuff, they basically showed it from the beginning.
Well, they straight up confirmed it.
But what was nice about that was they only sensed the people that had the power.
That's true.
I mean,
it seemed like it kind of regressed a little bit.
Yeah.
In there, I mean, granted, Moo was so bad. I mean, it was a bad.
He was a great pilot.
Woo!
But he only really used. It only seemed like it worked for him when Le Creuset was around.
Le Creuset or even Kira. That kind of lends to the fact that why him and Kira had such a good bonding.
Yeah, they had such a good relationship.
Exactly.
And then I mean, the only thing that explains why he became a Newtype, and I know they probably put that in there for fans more than anything, Kira Yamato, but I wish they would if he was a clone baby made from the same laboratory that Le Creuset was in, then it must be that he's got some of the Laflaga DNA in him.
The biggest tragedy of Destiny is that they never really went into it.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw more Newtype flashes and Newtype connections, but you never got
Ray
anymore.
Ray had the Newtype ability too.
Yeah, Ray had it, and that's another.
People.
So that would be the 6th one right there. And then that to me was such a great part of the Seed storyline that something could have been done with that. I mean, if you look at it, Aldeflaga, a Newtype, went and manipulated the world events to his own advantage, which makes you wonder if his ability of being a Newtype allowed him to do that.
Right.
I mean, he was so vain that he wanted to make clones in his image with his DNA, with those abilities.
Yep.
So that was really fascinating to me, which made it a real crucial part of the storyline that just completely vanished.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't know what to do with it. Maybe they just had a lot on their plate and decided to shuck it. I don't know.
Well, I think that show had it basically suffered from listening to the fans too much. I think they listened to too many of the fans.
That's true. I mean, that show in Japan is regarded as a great series.
Yeah.
I mean, people love Shin Asuka, and I don't think bad of him. But anyway, that's getting off topic.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but that was interesting. And then the other thing that and this is why I like the whole theory of the Gundam X explanation, was in Gundam X, Jamil Neat, when he used his ability, it hurt him.
It hurt him.
And because he, suffered the shock of destroying the world, and I guess it overloaded his senses.
Right.
And when he tried to use that ability a few times, would cause ear bleeding and, cause him great pain. So that's where I think that explanation's
him
good.
and his rival as well. I mean, the only person in the world that could actually utilize the new type powers, except for maybe an artificial new type that shows up later on the show, is Tifa Adil.
Yeah.
And Tifa Adil, it's kind of a different kind of new type ability. Granted, she can get new type flashes, but a lot of it tended to manifest itself in the dreams where she saw the future.
Yeah, she had premonitions more than anything.
More than anything, she was more psychic than she was new type to me.
Yeah,
she just was. It just tied into that ability. And then there was the girl who was the artificial new type that was under who was part of that weapon. Jamil's love interest from back in his younger days.
Yeah.
And then there was of course Dome,
who was the first new type,
which was the first new type, and apparently the one that bestowed those powers in that universe to other new types.
Yeah, so I mean that was interesting because you finally saw, because the one thing that always made me kind of step back, especially in Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta and Victory and all this, is they would always show every once in a while these guys would, Armoro, Camille, whatever, they'd feel the great pain of killing people, but then for most of those shows, it never drove them crazy or anything like that.
No, it didn't.
Where Gundam X, it was like Jamil witnessed this great tragedy, felt the great tragedy, and it basically overloaded his psyche, and took his power, and he became from like a powerful, revered person to basically not being able to use it.
Exactly.
So I thought that was probably the best, because that would make more sense that those powers would burn out, just like Lancelot. His powers burnt out too.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
They
burned out
his rival, I guess, in the first war,
in the 1 year war of their period.
Yeah, the 1 year war. Yeah.
But yeah, they burnt out at the same time because of the shock of all the loss of life on Earth. That just shut it off. I mean, I don't know how the shock didn't drive them insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why new types are rare in the first place, because probably the aftershock of all those deaths around the world, if there were any new types left,
probably killed them.
They probably killed them. The feedback, and if it didn't kill them, it cut their powers off.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tifa. It was 15 years from the point where the series starts, and Tifa was born. Tifa was born after that.
I think she was like Garud, where they were basically born like a few months after the battle, because I remember Garud talking about his life as a child, and he was basically born a few months after the last of the final battle,
right?
And talking, so I'm sure she was the same thing,
exactly,
right around there, and for whatever reason, her powers began to manifest. But
one thing I loved about the show is Garud was not a new type.
Yeah, that was nice,
and he was able to master new type like skills under the tutelage of Jamil. I mean, when he took on the artificial new type and actually beat him
without using his powers, Jamil.
Exactly.
That was the best.
Jamil did it, and then Garud caught on, and he was able to do it too, and just off a regular human instinct. And I love that series for that. But
it showed that if you had a talent and practiced enough, you could beat the new type. Where in the other shows, it was just like, well, they're a new type, you can't beat them.
They can't be trumped.
They can't be. They can't be taken out. So.
Exactly. Well, before we wrap up this segment, in 30 seconds, who is your favorite new type of all time, or what do you think is the most potent new type of all time?
Most powerful, from what I can see, was Judo Ashta.
Thank you. I was going to say the same thing.
Judo Ashta made Haman Khan pee her pants.
Yes.
On many occasions. She would probably be the close second.
She would be the close second. I was going to say.
My favorite new type, I'm partial in Mulaflaga, mainly because of his personality more than anything, and it seemed like there was more limits to it. And Jamil Neat, and maybe UC. I don't know, probably Probably Slagger, even though he's not shown as a new type in the show, but he is in the book. And
mine from UC would probably have to be Bright Noah and Judo.
And
those two.
And General Revel.
General Revel.
So
he was a new type. Although he would never admit it.
Yeah.
He would never admit it.
What would be yours? Anything else?
From UC, it would have to be Judo Ashta.
Yeah.
Mainly because he was a new type and didn't have any of the hangups of it. He adjusted to it like that, and he was able to utilize those abilities and use them in a positive way, while and going against another powerful new type, which was Haman, and they clashed. She even feared him, and but she was also strangely drawn to him, much like know Camille was drawn to 4, and Amuro was drawn to Lala, but he just seemed like the most well-adjusted new type in the history of the series. To me. He used his powers, and it didn't really cause him any drama. And
I would agree with that, and then I would have to say if you're doing well-adjusted, the other one would be Mula Flaga, because he actually doubted his abilities.
Exactly,
which was kind of refreshing.
Exactly.
So
he was able to adjust to him. He had them all his life, his life. It's not like they just sprung up in him. He always had them.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, that's cool. But I guess this will be something we'll probably delve into more. So, and hopefully when we get the third member back, I'd like to hear his insight on. I
would like to hear the Ball Wizard's take on new types too. But hopefully the boards will light up with this subject anyway. But we'll be back in a few moments. You are listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
Damn it! If I kicked his ass, why do I still feel like he won?
Look at that!
This is Soul Bro Review, and when you have a free moment, check out these cool websites. MAHQ.net. And that stands for the Mecha and Anime Headquarters. They have information and reviews on a variety of animes, as well as specs on Mecha from your favorite series. Check out the forums and see what the regulars are saying about Mobile Suit Gundam 00. AEUG.blogspot.com. And that website is Ganada. And that's your #1 news site for all things Gundam. But watch out for those spoilers on Gundam 00 though. www.myspace.com/FTS Shinjuku. And that's for the podcast that started it all. Flip the script. Anime, video games, movies, TV, and music are a few of the subjects that are tossed about in a roundtable discussion by 6 very different individuals. Boy Wonder, Dr. Encyclopedia Black, Lee Majors, and Shoji Rimuro, as well as the host of Gundam, Neo Lorrnoke, and Sobro Ryu. GundamOfficial.com. That's Gundam OFFICIAL.com. And that's for the official website of Gundam, of course. It's managed by the guru of Gundam himself, Mark Simmons. For those who had missed out on Simmons' mega fan site and extensive wiki of mobile suits in the late 90s, labeled the Gundam Project, now's your chance to see the second coming of it at GundamOfficial.com. www.myspace.com/Gundam the show. That's GUNDAMN the show. And last but not least is the website for the unofficial podcast for all things Gundam and Mecha, Gundam. Check us out on MySpace, and if you're a member, add us as a friend and give us your opinions on the Mecha series you enjoy. Peep these cool websites when you get a minute. Now, back to...
Maybe there have been times when I've been pissed and hated things, but it wasn't from this work. My dad's a no-show, my mom's a lush, and school sucks. But this job is the one damn thing I've ever been good at. And if all the crap in my life hasn't screwed me up yet, then neither will this. And neither will you.
Welcome back to Gundam at MAHQ. As always, you can hear us on iTunes also under the podcast section of Gundam.
Just look up Gundam.
Yep. And since Chris isn't here, we're gonna just kind of go into a couple. We've been getting a lot of feedback from the listeners, and we enjoy it, and we thank you guys for giving it to us. And we're trying to respond as quickly as possible. So if we haven't gotten back to you, or you haven't heard a response yet, just keep listening, because things are a little bit more successful than we thought they would be.
We've received a deluge of letters, and you won't believe the downloads the show has been getting since we've become a part of MAHQ. It's ridiculous. But
so it's been a little difficult because unfortunately this isn't our only job.
Yeah.
So
I wish it was.
Yeah, wish it was too. But
I got paid for this. I'll be responding to letters all the time. Trust me.
But yeah, definitely keep giving us feedback, giving us segment ideas. Your stories or whatever, and we'll get to them as quickly as possible. So, but we're just we're gonna read a couple of letters here. I'm gonna read one and kind of respond to it, and Old Soul Bro is gonna read it too. First one's from Matt Sinclair, and his name, his story or his letter starts off like this. Hey guys, my name's Mafu. I'm 19, an Australian staying in Japan as an exchange student. He's been studying Japanese for quite some time, and he's pretty confident speaking it. So he listened to he watched episode 5 of Gundam 00, and he was on a bus on the way to school, and I guess a lot of the elementary school kids in Japan are not digging 00 too much. They're still in Destiny, and they're really loving Shin-Asuka and everything.
They love Shin-Asuka. Can you believe that?
Which, when I saw this, and me and Soul Bro were discussing it, the only thing I can say is I think it's 00 is what we wanted, the more mature version of Gundam.
It's the Gundam we've been hoping for all this time.
So,
and I think the Japanese have come accustomed to the fast food Gundam, which is what's the slogan from BK?
Have it your own way.
Have it your way.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of fan service in Destiny, and I think it spoiled the fans.
Yeah.
And you didn't really. It made the story suffer. It made it suffer. I mean, that explains the hastiness of the ending, and the fact that they had to even go back and remix the ending and then remix the whole show. So I'm glad we have 00, and I hope it goes well.
Yeah, he's basically saying, I mean, these kids. I guess he was talking to the kids on the bus, and they're like, Shin is the best. It's 00 is okay, but they're not really digging it. So,
and I quote, he says, "What the F are these kids? Brain dead?" Shin is so emo. Atherin is way better. Atherin is the John McClane of Gundam Pilots, but Atherin is way better, and 00 is pretty cool. It's too early to write it off.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that it looks like 00 is having just socially 00 is having a rocky start, but the ratings are they're still there.
The ratings are good. It's just that I don't know.
I think it's finding its audience. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, and I think that for whatever reason, I mean, I enjoyed Gundam Seed, Destiny. Especially after Break the World, I could pretty much just leave it. I don't know what it is. I mean, the Japanese are just so enamored with the characters in that show. So hopefully 00 doesn't get a Gundam X. That's all I'm hoping for, but I don't think it will. But he listened to our show, and he's excited that there's finally a podcast for Gundam.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. I mean, it's from what we're finding out, we're the first ones to really do something like this.
Concentrate on Gundam and mech shows in general.
So, but I mean, he enjoys listening to us. He's definitely digging the show. He's I guess he's telling everybody he can about it. So, those are kind of the things that we want to hear, and we definitely want to we're happy to hear this, and we definitely want to just continue to move on and talk about some things that everybody wants to hear. But Soul Bro is going to go into another letter real quick, and
this one is from my man Greg Flynn, and he writes to us, and this one really touched me, man. I'm reading this, and he says, "Hey guys, I listened to the first 3 episodes of Gundam 2 weeks ago, and I thought I'd drop you a line. Much like you guys, I got in the Gundam wing, found the movies, and shortly afterwards became a UC Gundam junkie shortly thereafter and never looked back. Your podcast was great and long overdue for this Gundam Star fan. Man, I listened to the first 3 episodes on the way up and back from visiting my girlfriend in Syracuse, and it really helped pass the time. The conversation was good, although it improved the longer I listened, and you both clearly became more comfortable with the format the longer you had done it. even when discussing things I had not seen, the Zeta movies, which I'm glad he listened to that episode. The Zeta movies and Gundam X, for instance, I never felt left out or excluded from the conversation. There was a nice mix of topics, and I like how you kept it Gundam-centric, discussing mecha shows. I love the Toonami-style remixes. I won't go into that, but it really helped break up the show and keep it from getting long and stretched out. The production values of the show were excellent and very well done. You have a very slick podcast, and I'm sure you're already interesting conversations will only continue to improve as you become more comfortable with the show.
Oh, yeah.
Right. The one thing that drove me a little crazy was the constant music, which we addressed finally in the previous episode. From here on out, there'll be a music light version, and there'll be a standard
music
version.
list.
What's that?
Is it a music list?
There's a light version where there's not music throughout the segments.
Okay.
And there's a version of the show that's standard, and they'll both be released at the same time from here on out. So when you're listening to Gundam, you have your choice of either or.
Oh, okay.
Just check the boards. You'll see them posted anytime a new episode's posted.
See, we do listen to what people are saying.
It's convenient to do when I produce the episodes. When I cut the sound in, it's like I can do a version that's completely music light. So
yeah, and
I have no problem doing it.
That was great to hear, though. I mean, that we were interesting enough to go visit his girlfriend. I wonder how long that trip is.
Must be
from where he's living.
I'm not sure where he lives.
I don't know where he lives either, but. No, that's great.
I'm really flattered that he spent some of that time listening to us, and that he dug the show so much. And we'll both do our best, and Chris too. When he gets back, we'll all do our best to keep the quality of the show up and just keep it riveting. And you guys help us do that, which is the reason why we're reading your letters today.
Yeah, and we want to hear the feedback because we want to know what people want to hear too.
Exactly.
We have our own things that we want to talk about, but we also want to keep a pulse on what the listeners and some of the topics that are out there. Because with our partnership now with MAHQ, you're probably going to see a lot more diverse topics when it comes to mech related shows.
Because honestly, we're not the authority on mech shows. We're just mech enthusiasts. So we just always talked about doing a show like this.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad we now have the opportunity to really do this and to be in league with someone like Chris, who's been informing the internet for years on mech shows.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of insight of some things that we don't even really and
he comes
know
from a
about.
completely different angle from us, which helps to diversify the show, which I think is incredible. And you guys, your feedback helps to diversify the show too, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'll never forget you. I'll definitely never leave you guys out of it. So
yeah, so definitely we'll definitely be going because. I guess Greg finishes up about talking about Gasaraki, Go Gaigar, and Nadesco.
Yeah,
and we're definitely those things are definitely on the plate. It's just that,
and he asked for some Turn A too, and boy, we're gonna get to that. Oh man, I can't wait.
I mean, believe us, there's gonna be a lot of things coming down, a lot of topics. It's just that we're trying to break them up, and we're trying to do it in a way where we're not gonna just do overkill on everybody. So
exactly,
but we definitely enjoy the feedback that we're getting, and we'll definitely have it keep coming. And I know that we are also doing a lot of listener topics, topic suggestions. We did one tonight with the Newtypes. So just keep those coming. And we're going to definitely probably do some more things after the first of the year with the website and a little bit more listener interactivity with the show. So,
and one important thing, if you have time, if you ever catch me on Skype, just look up my email address on Skype, which is sbrmahq@gmail.com. You look that up, you'll find me. And if you see me on there and you have something written up that you want to speak on, I can actually record the phone conversation with you and put that on the show. Or if you want to submit to us through email at gundamMAHQ@gmail.com. If you want to submit anything through email in an MP3 format, 128 bits at 40. Anyway, you'll find the details on the web on the boards. But if you ever want to submit anything, email it to us. And you have anything you want to have vocalized in the show, we'll put it in the show if it's good enough. Well, if it's high quality or engaging enough, well done, we'll put it in the show.
Yeah, I mean we're just. And once again, we thank everybody for getting in touch with us. Soulbro, what are some of the ways that they can get in touch with us besides the forums on mahq.net? I guess one of our is what.
www.myspace.com/Gundam the show is our pretty much impromptu site right now. If you're already a member of MySpace, add us as a friend if you have time, and we'll definitely add you to the bunch. Outside of that, www.mechatalk.net is the website address for the forums for MAHQ.net. And if you go to Podshow, that's pretty much where the episodes are distributed from. You can go to www.podshow.com/Gundam the show, and also get the episodes from there as well.
Yeah, and you can send us private messages through the forums too. And if you want to give us an email, it's GundamMAHQ@gmail.com. So you guys keep up with the responses and feedback, and we're going to definitely keep addressing them and responding to them. So we thank everybody for the support, and we'll be right back in a little bit. You're listening to Gundam at MAHQ.
Kill us if you're going to. Just spare us the sound of your voice.
Damn
it!
I can't stand this silent treatment, Ibiki. Come on, I said I was sorry.
Kagi, will you please just shut up?
Ayama, you tell her. I didn't mean to say she wasn't dating. Things just pop out of my mouth sometimes. Besides, what does my opinion matter, right? I'm just a moron. Call me a moron, Ayama, please.
No, really, Akagi, it's okay. You're just saying what you think, and what you think is that I'm undateable. Just some loser girl alone every night.
I never said that.
But that's what you were thinking. That's why it popped out of your mouth, right?
I don't know, maybe.
So, you admit it.
Hey, you called me a maniac, remember?
Yes, because what kind of man in his mid-20s spends half his paycheck on toys?
What? They're not toys. They're richly detailed model robots, and I love them.
Toys!
Oh, yeah? Well, at least I have something to love. You wouldn't know love if it came up and bit you on the...
Shut up! Can you hear all this? You heard all of that? Oh, please, no!
Damn
it! You're like their Get in a Danger tour guide.
And that brings us to a close tonight on Gundam at MAHQ.
Episode 5.
This is episode 5, and this is Sober Review again with
Neil Lorrnoke.
And we're pretty much signing off for this episode.
Chris isn't here in spirit.
Yeah, Chris is here in spirit, and he'll be back next week in the flesh, over the airways with us. And
make sure you check out his reviews of Mobile Suit Gundam 00,
which we went into episodes 5 through 8 tonight. Also, we discussed the mysticism behind Newtypes and our take on it,
theories, etc.
Exactly, and we also did some listener feedback tonight, and we thank everybody for listening and feeding back to us. And you can't believe how many listeners we have to the show now, and it's just so many, and
how much of a response we're getting. Like we said in that segment too, just be patient with us.
Yep.
We're trying to respond, and we're trying to whatever topics we have to decide. We're deciding on to speak about. Believe me, there's a lot of them that you guys have suggested that we're holding off.
Exactly. We actually wanted to get into some of them tonight, but we wanted to wait till Chris gets back before we get into them, because I'd hate to see him get left out of them. So
yeah, some of them are definitely we'll definitely like to see his insight. I'm sure you guys will like it too, and ours.
Exactly.
But
I like to give some mentions to some people on the boards. Destiny Gundam, most definitely. MCred 23, and who else?
One person, Tuxedo Mark.
And Tuxedo Mark, thank you for making that promotional video for Gundam.
Yeah.
Really,
I have to
thank
you.
I say something about this man every episode now, it looks like.
Well, I mean, it was nice, and it was a nice thought and nicely produced and everything like that. And we thank you for taking your time out of your day to do something like that. We definitely appreciate that stuff.
I got to put it up in the blog for this episode, as well as I'll put it up on the MySpace site as well.
Yeah, and check that out. He's got it posted up on YouTube. If you look up Gundam, it'll actually come up. Also, there's also something else on YouTube that you guys might want to check out. this is a little selfish, but my roommate did some videos, AMVs for Macross Zero and Gundam Seed, Gundam Seed. I was going to say Gundam Seed Destiny, but just Gundam Seed. You can actually find those on YouTube. Also,
the Gundam Seed video is
Intergalactic
by the Beastie
Boy.
Boys. And the the Macross Zero video is to Supersonic by Jamiroquai.
And if you look up on any of those or look under Boy Wonder,
spelled BOIWONDR.
Yeah, no E.
No E at all.
Drop the E.
He's part of Shinjuku Station, and he's also a member of our other podcast show, Flip the Script.
But definitely check those out. I'm sure you guys will like them. Leave him some comments.
Please do. He's a great AMV creator, and he's working on a wonderful AMV for next year's conventions. So I got to get cracking on mine too. So,
but yeah, check those out. And other than that, I can't. And of course, always go to MAHQ.net.
You got it, and also at the forums at mechatalk.net, and also you can visit our MySpace website at www.myspace.com/Gundam the show, and you can reach us by email at Gundam MAHQ @gmail.com.
And you can also download the show onto your iPod through iTunes.
Yes, indeed.
Just look up under the podcast section under Gundam. And just want to say, probably by the end of the month, check out our MySpace page because I'm going to be putting up a blog.
Yeah,
I have a blog thing that I've been meaning to get up there.
You have a thesis, man.
I do have a thesis, but check that out. So,
all right. Well, this is Soul Bro Review
and Neil Lorrnoke, and I guess we're signing off.
And we'll see you next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks with another episode of Gundam at MAHQ.
At full strength.
At full strength.
Look, I have chocolate.
Give me back my mom and dad!
Too bad. You lost your chance to have some chocolate. Sorry, kid.
Gundam
at MAHQ is a
Shinjuku Station
and MAHQ production.
Whatever you say, chump. Let's go! Die Guard!
Take